just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
On first down, Breeze. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And that one results in 35 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep them under that if you want to play good defense.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards in a first.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Ready. Waiting.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch out of the backfield as well.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. He dumps it down to Ingram. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you can see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers at first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the...
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 53 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The football going back over to the New Orleans Saints, and a team this year, Charles, that really took off after that Week 1 loss. For me, it all came together Week 9. You think back to that game when they beat the Rams, knocked off their undefeated streak to start the regular season. So now, are the Saints really Super Bowl winning contenders? I mean, do you put them in that category?
I certainly do, and I think people were wondering how they would respond this season after what happened to end last season, the Minneapolis Miracle, where they ended up giving up the touchdown pass in the last play of the game in the playoffs. And when it started losing at home to Tampa Bay, many wondered if their psyche had really been affected. But they've regrouped since then. The defense is really playing well. And then there's always Drew Brees to Mike Thomas. And that has worked very well for them.
Well, since you mentioned Michael Thomas, and we talked about that win over the Rams, never forget going to get the flip phone, Mr. Michael Thomas. Channeling his inner Joe Horn from back in the day. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
He goes underneath to Ingram. And shutting him off, now open field. Just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now Breeze on the bootleg. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. T.J. Watt coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Escaping the pressure right. And now running right through it. Touchdown! And the New Orleans Saints put 6 up on the board. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken very short. Now a hit and a loose football. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Saints. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They go play action here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A 1st down carry by Bell. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. Here we go. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. A perfectly executed crossing route. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen. Now Breeze wants the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly. And you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change. Get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now. But if this keeps up, you're going to have two very angry defenses. You want the offense to take care of the ball.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Sammy!
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Josh Hill, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Bell, only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Ready? Blue 30.
Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Roethlisberger now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, Charles, a year ago at this time, I asked you what your Thanksgiving plans were, so I got a funny answer out of you last year. I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Trying to figure out exactly what time I kick everyone out of my house so I can just hunker down and watch what's left of the football schedule. That's what I want to know.
Oh, come on, your mother-in-law is coming in. It's going to be a great time at the Davis household.
But she can stay as long as she wants. She's family. But everyone else, they have an expiration time.
What about the dogs?
50-50. Depends on how they act that day.
Well, when things go awry, you can just get in the car and head out for the airport because you got a game that weekend.
I certainly do. I will be headed to Charlotte, Seattle at Carolina that Sunday. Looking forward to that one. But even while I'm jesting a little bit about people being at the house, some of you I'm not jesting about. Hurry up and get out.
Breeze to throw on second down. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Breeze now toward the pylon, caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn from 6 yards away. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Changing topics here for just a second to look ahead to our Thanksgiving slate. You know, you got Chicago and Detroit early, but then, of course, Dallas late. And it's a rivalry game. They host Washington.
Yeah, and how great is that we're going to get that one on Thanksgiving, because they've given us some memorable ones throughout the years. And it's always interesting to hear just how intense this rivalry is, even in today's NFL. I've talked to guys who have played for both Dallas and Washington, and they always say it's such a struggle when they hear they have to go to the other team. No matter what the circumstances, that's the one team that you don't want to go play for. And they always say it's very strange to put on that other uniform.
Whoever wins that game, the turkey will taste a lot better in the locker room after. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it, and they'll take it out to the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now Roethlisberger. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting a single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Washington with the catch, middle of the field. And he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He dumps it down to Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. And a nice gain of 21 yards. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
And how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now. All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And the stats on his game, they really tell the story. A strong start. I don't know that the defense has really changed a whole lot as opposed to maybe just sticking to that game plan and shutting him down now.
I like where you're going with that because normally we talk about adjustments and drastic changes in a game plan in order to shut someone down. But in this case, maybe they're just sticking with what they worked on all week and they're just making better plays. And so far, they've got to like what they've been doing in the second half.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would end up going to a sack.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. A.J. Klein coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases that they were able to exploit right there.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. A screen to Bell. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hill. A gain of 39 that time.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Flush to his right, and he fends him off. And now running right through him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And Thomas has it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Gets it to Meredith complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Breeze going to sneak it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And McDonald here over the middle. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Ingram churning. He lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Lutz good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Here's Roethlisberger, caught here by Bell. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 41 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple more times to give them a chance.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A good pickup there, a 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in until you go back total at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal. Breeze to throw again. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Drew Brees turning back the clock. 5 touchdown passes for him on the afternoon. And the Saints add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set! Like 20.
Roethlisberger will throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. That's McDonald. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he finds McDonald. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And his throw here's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Brees going to throw here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Brees now. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now, Brees again. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Brees. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has
blitz coming, and down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Brees now on 3rd and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Saints just continue to roll.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because it certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One last shot for Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.